All right, my friends. We have EV sales now from China. We have an interesting situation here because if you look at these companies, some of them are doing really well, but some of them are talking like they're doing well. I mean, they're talking a big game, but their sales are not matching that game. Let's have a look at BYD and one of their rivals. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. If you want to join us as a member, that'd be fantastic. I'll put a link in the description. As a YouTube member, you will get access to some member-only videos. It'll be coming up soon. BYD just delivered more than 500,000 vehicles in the month of November. Let's have a quick look at BYD sales for November and the actual models they sold. BYD delivered 118,743 vehicles of the Song family. The Song, there is an EV-only Song, but most of them are actually plug-in hybrids. But that does mean a 92.5% increase year over year on Song model EVs. To be honest, I saw quite a lot of the Song DMIs in China. There is an EV version, but they don't sell very many of the EV version. So the plug-in hybrid Song, I saw them in China, and I said to people, why are people buying this car? To me, it's not interesting. It's not exciting. Here's what the Chinese told me. They said it's selling on price. It's cheap and it's a plug-in hybrid, and that's why they're selling. So there you go. The Qin family. BYD sold a lot of the Qin family vehicles. They actually delivered a huge number of the Qin family, a total of 87,000. So same thing as the Song, fairly nondescript car. There is an EV version, but mostly they're plug-in hybrids. BYD Seal. The Seal is not a plug-in hybrid. It's an EV only. Sales of the Seal this year in China have been amazing. It's almost like people in China saw what was happening in other countries. They saw the BYD Seal selling and thought, well, it must be really good, because look at the Seal sales, right? August 2022 all the way through to June of 2024. For that 2-year period, people weren't buying the BYD Seal in China. And what happened? I don't know. Things suddenly changed. All of a sudden, the Seal is selling really, really well. So as you can see, BYD delivered 56,600 BYD Seals. That includes global sales. That's not just China. That's sales of the Seal outside of China as well. The Seal family includes the Seal 06 GT, the Seal EV. There is now a DMI model, the Seal 06 DMI. That's a new model. I don't believe they've sold many of those. And the Seal 07 DMI as well. So that's not just the Seal sedan, that's the 4 different models of Seal. The Seal 06 GT is, well, BYD call it a hot hatch, but it's the biggest hatch in the history of the world. It's nearly 4.7 meters long, so it's a massive hot hatch, but it's pretty cool. I saw them in China and I'm a big fan of them, they look cool. BYD Yen family, that's the Atto 3. Good sales for the Atto 3, 56,570. So 2 fantastic months for the BYD Atto 3. BYD Seagull, good month for the Seagull. I mean, BYD Seagull sales fell off big time earlier this year, but they've pretty significantly increased their sales of the Seagull. The Seagull is the little mini car. It's similar size, a little bit smaller than a Toyota Yaris. BYD delivered nearly 60,000, so around 56,000 of the Seagull in November. BYD Han. BYD Han sales are surprisingly good as well. 30,000 deliveries of the BYD Han. That's the electric sedan. There is a plug-in hybrid version as well, but it's primarily known as an electric sedan in China. And it's kind of slightly bigger than a BYD Seal. To be honest, it's pretty old school. It does look good, but it's pretty old school now. For some reason, 30,000 of those were delivered in China. That's a China-only model as far as I know. I think there's a few sold in Europe as well, but it's like less than 2% of model sales. BYD Chaser 05. The Chaser 05, 25,000 deliveries. Then we have the BYD Dolphin. Dolphin sales have still continued to be surprisingly low. Only around 21,700 deliveries of the Dolphin. That's a decline of 38% year over year. Yeah, to be honest, I am a little surprised on that. I think the Dolphin is one of BYD's best cars. It's very affordable. And one of its rivals is the MG4. And generally the MG4 outside of China outsells the BYD Dolphin about 2 or 3 to 1. BYD Tang, that's their larger up to 7-seat SUV. and sales of the Tang are actually up 45% versus last year. Still not big numbers though for the BYD Tang at 15,000 deliveries. BYD Sea Lion. Sea Lion, 15,000 deliveries for the new Sea Lion. That's a new model of car, and that it was apparently coming to Australia within the next few months, coming to Europe as well within a few months' time. I did a video on that based on some reviews I'd read, particularly one by a UK journalist who I believe is not bought and sold by anybody who was telling honest truth. The Sea Lion is a bit disappointing. I honestly think it doesn't make sense as a car. I think you'd be better off buying an Xpeng G6 or a Tesla Model Y or a Hyundai Ioniq 5, or to be honest, many other models of car. The Sea Lion is it's fairly dated. Efficiency is not good. Handling is soft and not particularly inspiring. Bit disappointing. I think a new version of Sea Lion will probably come in around 12 months' time with BYD's Blade Battery version 2, and that is a car I would be looking at. You know, if you're looking at a car in a year's time from now, by then I think they'll have the new Blade Battery, and it'll have much faster charging speed, probably weigh a lot less. It's incredibly heavy. It's 2,400 kilograms. It's much too heavy for a car of that size. Anyhow, Sea Lion deliveries, interesting to see at 15,000. BYD E2. E2 is not really that relevant for the company anymore. They sold 500 of those. BYD Frigate 07, they sold almost none of those, 450. Now they have the BYD Dynasty series. Now that includes BYD's brands, the Denza brand, the Yangwang brand, the Fangcheng Bao brand as well. So they're three kind of premium brands. They delivered a pretty good number there, 250,000 of the BYD Dynasty lineup. And that's good. That's probably the best news for the company because they're the models they make good markup, good margin on these cars. The others, they make probably no profit or a very, very small profit on most of them. But the Dynasty lineup, that's where their real money is coming from. The Denza brand, BYD delivered just over 10,000 of the BYD Denza. Now that is actually a decline of 15.6% year over year. Denza sales haven't really peaked in the way that I'm guessing BYD would have hoped. But anyway, those are the numbers for the Denza. Fangcheng Bao, that's the premium BYD brand. They delivered 8,500 of the Fangcheng Bao. There is three different models of the Fangcheng Bao. They're all boxy shaped SUVs. I quite like the look of them. There's the Bao 3, the Bao 5, and the Bao 8. Premium cars, some of them, I believe, not the Bao 8, but the Bao 3 and the Bao 5, will be imported globally within the next 12 months from what I've been hearing. BYD's ultra luxury brand Yangwang. Deliveries for that brand are pretty minuscule. They delivered 278 U8 off-road SUVs. Those started around 140,000 US dollars. They also delivered 24 of the U9 electric supercar. So that's an electric supercar that BYD have been testing at the Nürburgring recently. It is capable of doing 400 kilometers an hour, has been tested and does that, making it the fastest ever Chinese-made car. But it is exceptionally heavy. It does weigh 2,500 kilograms, or about 5,300 pounds. It's the heaviest supercar that I've personally ever seen. As you can see there, overall BYD sales 506,000 for the month, which is a record for the company. And it means for 2 consecutive months, they've sold over 5,000 cars. I mean, imagine selling 1 million cars in 2 months, right? That's crazy. But comparing it to last year, that's growth of 68%. Last year in November, BYD delivered 302,000. So going from 300,000 to 500,000 in 12 months shows you what's really happening. The trajectory for BYD, which is clear trajectory of overtaking the Volkswagen Group. They've already overtaken Ford now. General Motors will be next. Likely they will overtake, I would say, the Volkswagen Group within 3 years and Toyota within 4 years. 2030 was my initial prediction 2 years ago that would happen. I believe now it's more likely to happen in 2028. Compare all these numbers to NIO. NIO talks a lot of talk, and the CEO regularly bashes Tesla, says he thinks all Tesla cars are mediocre, the Tesla brand is mediocre, and that Tesla could collapse at any moment. That's what NIO's CEO has said on a couple of occasions. And in fact, they really base their marketing on showing everyone or trying to prove to everyone that NIO's cars are better than Tesla's. They might be, but they're not really selling that way. NIO delivered 15,500 of the NIO brand vehicles in November. That's down 7% from October. Yeah, not a particularly great result from NIO, considering record all-time sales for Xpeng, record all-time sales for Leapmotor, record all-time sales for Zeekr. Yeah, NIO, Not the case. Now, Onvo, they delivered 5,000 of the Onvo brand vehicles, which is not bad for a new vehicle that's meant to be a Tesla Model Y killer. The media told us that. I can show you probably 100 different media sources that claim the NIO Onvo, which is actually not called the NIO, it's just called the Onvo, would smash the Tesla Model Y. NIO CEO said it would. He said it was a far better car. But deliveries of 5,000 are, considering it's only been around for a few months, really quite disappointing. Pre-sales for different models of car have been fantastic from other brands. Look, the Geely Galaxy E5 SUV. The Galaxy E5, they have 60,000 deliveries within 120 days. So within 4 months, Geely, completely new car brand, completely new model, right? Didn't mention it being a Tesla Model Y killer or a BYD Atto 3 killer. Some YouTubers said it was a BYD Atto 3 killer. Just quietly went on their way, sold a good vehicle at a good price, and delivered 60,000 in 4 months. NIO could learn from that. I think they could anyway. So what this means is that NIO saw a further decline in their deliveries last month as volume of the main brand actually declined. NIO delivered a total of 20,575 vehicles, but of course 5,000 of those were the bitly unknown Onvo brand. I don't really understand why they decided to create a new brand, but NIO now have created 2 brands in the last 6 months. The Onvo brand is one of them. Now this is the second consecutive month-on-month decrease in NIO deliveries. The second consecutive decline in deliveries. That shouldn't be happening in October, November, December. October, November, December are meant to be the 3 months where every car maker in China beats previous records. And all of them have, except NIO. The NIO brand their sales are down 3% from last year. Last year, in the month of November, they delivered 16,000 cars. Now they're down to 15,500. So not a big fall, but to be honest, it wasn't really a high place. It wasn't really a high bar to be at. What this means is that from January to November, NIO delivered 190,000 vehicles, which is growth. They did grow by 34% from the same period last year. But NIO did go through a couple of crises. They had to go to investors. They had several rounds of investment trying to basically source more money, get more funds. And NIO are very quick to spend. So they're not selling a lot of cars and they're spending a lot of money, which means that in the third quarter of this year, they lost $640 million US. That's over a 3-month period. The truth is, on average, NIO is actually losing $200 million every single month. Every month, right? That means they'll lose more than $2 billion this year. Now, could the company turn things around? Maybe, but honestly, when your rivals are doing so much better, BYD, Zeekr, XPeng, Leapmotor, when they're all crushing it, do you really think NIO's going to stick around all that long? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.